Just check that quality is all good. Just check that quality is perfect. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Riot Racing League Season 9. Season 9, Round 2 here in Australia. Give me a second, I just need to send the link over to someone. Share. And tonight we've got highest one so far. Hello. I'm guessing that's Stick. I'm guessing because he's the only other one with the account. Tonight we've got 14 drivers. We've got PG, 13 Connor and AJ returning in the Sauber. Giant Stick in Haas. We've got DK and Mason in the McLarens. We've got Max in the Aston Martin. We've then got Horsepower Gaming in the Mercedes. We've got FS and Amy Hoxer, who is debuting tonight in their Ferraris. We've then got Soaking Eye and Mellow Space in the Williams. We've got Triple Bay in his Red Bull. Gold Killer in Alpine. Evie in the Racing Bulls. I shall get the... Last week we did have Soaking Eye winning with DK in second. I will get the championship standings up as well. Give me just a second. So our standings after round 1, we've got Soaking Eye with 29 points. We've got DK in P2 with 22. We've got Harold in P3 with 16. Gold Killer with 14 points in P4. Max in P5 with 12. FS in P6 with 10. Evie in P7 with 8. Triple Bay in P8 with 7. And Max in P9 with 6. So that is our standings. And then we've currently got the Sauber actually in P1 in the standings. We've got McLaren in P2, Mercedes P3, Alpine P4, Red Bull P5, Aston P6, Ferrari P7, Visa Cash Apps in P8, MoneyGram Haas in P9, and Williams in P10. So that are our current standings. So as things are going, let's just get the full map on, lap data on. We'll just keep an eye. Let's see who is going to be first. Triple Bay with already an invalidated time. Evie will be the first over the line, so we will just keep an eye on. No, he won't actually. It will be Horsepower over the line first. So we will see what the banker lap is. Caution sector 2. And Horsepower will come over the line. He's just coming down the straight now, and he does come over the line with a 1 minute 17.5, so a very good time from him. We'll even it. And then who have we got next? As we got Evie with a 1:17, but then Soaking with a 1:15.8 straight off the bat. Amy Hoxer with a 1:16.3, so she goes P2 as things stand. Stick with a 17.3, so he will take P3 from Evie as things stand with Max. FS then with a P3, so the Mercedes boys and lady, the Mercedes duo, are slowly but surely starting to find their form. FS struggling a little bit with F125 form, so hopefully he will be hoping to reignite his to 2024 pace. But DK does go P1 with a 1:15.7, so he is a 10th quicker than Soaking Eye. We'll just see who's coming over the finish line next. We got Mellow Space just coming over the finish line, and he will get a 1 minute 20.5, so that puts him in currently P8. The next over the line will be Mason, followed by Gold Killer. And the Aston only just getting out of the way, but he does get out of the way. Gold Killer getting a slipstream, so it will be a race down to the final line. Hello, Jeff. Yeah, don't worry. You can go in. Put yourself in the Alpine. Hang on, let me just double check because I've just got the teams here now. Put yourself in the Alpine or the Red Bull. It should. So if you press join session and then spectator mode. And then either, yeah, take either the Alpine or the Red Bull, one of the two. So, alright, perfect. No problem, enjoy, good luck. Alright, bye. Right, sorry about that, guys. We just had one inquiry. So, as things stand, what have I missed? Who have I missed? We will watch Mason coming over the finish line though, so he takes the final corner a little bit cautiously. DRS open, and he will go at a 1 minute 19.7. That will pull him in P9 as things currently stand. We've done AJ Mackey in the Sauber coming around the second to final corner now. We will just keep an eye on him nicely through the second final corner where he can lose grip perfectly through the final corner, using as much of the curb as possible, and he will come home in a 1 minute 16.8, and that will put him P4 as things stand. So we'll just now keep an eye on the second Sauber of the night, PG13 Connor. Sokinai has left the session, but I will get him back in, and he will come home with 1 minute 19.1. That will put him just in front of Mason in P10. Right, I will get Sokin back in if I can find his name. There we go. Once everyone has got their thing, I have sent you another invite, Sokin. The second that the subs have finished their lap. But we'll just keep an eye on Harold now going through the third to last corner, and he does take as much of the track going into the second to last. Hits the apex on the inside, misses it ever so slightly on the outside, but he does tuck in nicely, uses as much of the track up as possible, and he comes down the final straight, DRS open, battery deployed, and he will come home with a 1:17.6, putting him in P9, just in front of Gold Killer. McLaren's Mercedes really struggling to get any sort of quali pace as things stand, with Evie going 3 tenths up in tier 1 and the Haas nicely getting out of the way. He's currently 4 tenths up on his best time. Yeah, this track is a love it or hate it, Mason. It's not the best track, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't like it. A little slight, but he does catch it, but that will ruin his lap time. We'll just see where Triple is. We'll watch Triple just coming through now. Yeah, that's fine. It was only really just to keep people checking. Sokin is now a must to be in the Discord. And he also slides as well. So these cars having some real issues with the having some real issues with the grip so far. We will just keep an eye now on Max Scavenger, a little bit cautious going through the final corner, but he does use a lot of the track up, DRS open, and he will come home in a 1 minute 18.3. That will put him up comfortably into P11. So we'll just see who's next over the line. We'll just keep an eye. Let's keep an eye on DK, and then we'll go straight over to Stick. DK only a tenth up on his best so far, so we will be hoping just to push a little bit more. Only the two drivers hit braking into the 115s as things stand, but do not be surprised if there are a few more drivers. But he does also invalidate, so we will go straight over to Stick, who is on a validated lap. He does come through the final corner in the Haas. DRS open, battery deployed, and he will come home in a 1 minute and 17 dead, pulling him up to a very respectable P5. I think he'll be very happy with that so far. We'll now watch Horsepower just coming over the line. He is 1/10 down on his best time, so we will be hoping to gain it. And he does pull out at the last minute. And they both come in. Let's see who else is going. Well, we'll watch. So Amy is 4 temps up on her best time, and Gold Killer is a second up as well. So he is hoping to be the third car that breaks to 1 minute 15s. Damn straight, great. Great Stingy. I can't actually pin it, but you've pinned it, so that's perfect. We will watch Gold Killer though, just coming round the very long sweeping left into the quick chicane, and he has lost a second somewhere, so he will not improve unless he has an absolute almighty final sector. And Amy Hoxter goes at a 1:15.5. So she is put a statement out there and then. These two drivers, DK and Amy, have been testing each other all day in time trial. And AJ Mackey attempts upon his best time, so he will be pushing it a little bit. It's yellow sector flags in sector 2, but sector 1 should I say, but we will keep an eye on AJ just for his lap. Oh, I didn't see how much time he was up, but he does run wide and he does invalidate. So he will go again. We'll just now see who is the next FS pulling out of his lap. We will watch Harold going through the long sweeping right then left. DRS open. He does have his teammate behind him, so will Horsepower play the team game? But it does look like Harold has pulled out of this lap. Hopefully Connor doesn't get, and Connor does perfectly keep out the way. Looks like we had a slight issue, but nothing too major from him. Names Jeff 3 temps up on his best time as things stand. Let's just have a look, see if anyone's coming. Yeah, so he's down on his best. We will just keep an eye on Jeff right now. And he is losing time as well. So it's not the cleanest from these, but it is very close to the limits. This track is very harsh. It's one of the harsher tracks with it. The only driver to not currently have a validated time up. Yes, okay, no. Like, you're pushing them. You're only a 10th off DK, so... Sorry guys, I'm just quickly messaging someone. And I am back. But yeah, so can I come into chat. I'll be happy with a P3 here so Amy and DK can have their fun up top. Genuinely, Sokin, I feel like you've just got to be patient and they will make errors. But you're going to have a bit of luck, but also like your pace is up there with them. So it'll be a good fight. Just got to keep plucking away at it. They might shoot off into the distance. They might also be a lot slower than. But we've got Mellowed and he's 7 attempts up on his best time. Coming through the quick left right, going down our final true DRS before the start finish line. A little bit wibbly. I can't speak now. A little bit wobbly through the corners, but nothing too major. He does take the third to last very smoothly though. Going into the second to last, will hit the apex, and he does hit the apex and the exit apex. A little bit wide going into the final corner. A little touch of the wall. Hopefully that doesn't do too much damage to either his time or his car. And he comes down with a 119, pulling him into P14. Let's see who is trying to figure out where these lads are. I think Evie will be the next one. Oh no, so we've got Gold Killer in the Alpine for his second race. A very respectable P4 I think last week. So we'll just see how he comes over the line, and he comes home with a 1 minute 16.792, so he isn't that far off his best time. We'll just keep an eye on Evie now, who will be the second one over the line, I'm pretty sure. And Evie goes P7 with his time. I did see a car jump up suddenly, but I don't know where. My apologies. Harold going 5.5 attempts up on his best time, so we will see where he goes. And he goes at a 116.8, putting in P8, knocking FS down to P9. Triple Bay, yes. Triple Bay having a 16.7 with putting him respectfully into P5. And PG kind of going 8 attempts up on his best time, and he will cross the line with a 1 minute 21.6, should I say. Slight issue, but that is his time done. We'll just keep an eye on the Ferrari of Amy, and she has had a little spin and just waiting to get out the way, so she does patiently do it. DK knows that it is now or never to get his best time and to put himself on that front spot perfectly through the final turn. Second and third turns absolutely perfectly, using as much of the track up as possible, and he gets the final DRS of this qualifying session, and he comes out with a 1 minute 15.9. So Amy Hoxha does take P1 with DK P2, Sokin P3, Gold Killer P4, Triple Bay P5, AJ back with his P6, Evie P7. We'll just see if Harold has backed out. So Harold P8, FS P9, horsepower, Giant Stick in P10, horsepower in P11, Max Scavenger P12, Names Jeff P13, Mason P14, PG Connor P15, and Mellowed in P16. So a very close qualifying. Only 3 cars break that 115 barrier, and there being a second time difference between third and fourth, so it is going to be very close between them top 3, I think. 3 times separated. Amy Hoxha in the Ferrari, DK Cohen in the McLaren, and Soking I 4798 in the P3. What do you mean, Sokin? And there goes. Amy does get her the fastest lap pole, so she has already got a point advantage, being 1.7 tenths off here, up on DK. But Amy does have that pole position point for now. Right, what we will have a look. Sorry about this, guys. I was just messaging one of the races. We'll just have a look at the strategy. So Amy Hoxer and DK going mediums. Sokinai, Gold Killer, Triple B, AJ Mackey and Evie all starting on hards. Harold then going to mediums. FS Racing, Giant Stick, Horsepower on hards. Max Scavenger on mediums. Names Jeff on hards. Mason, PG Connor and Mellowed all on medium. So very nicely split out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 7 drivers with mediums and the rest with hards. So it'll be very interesting to see how they get on. And here we go. Let me just have a quick look with the. Just make sure that this was a full recognized because it was 2028. So we are on our formation lap. We have Amy Hoxer, the Albanian, in Ferrari in pole. DK really urging and ready to get going in the McLaren. We got Sokinai in P3 with the Golf Sao Paulo Golf Williams livery, very nice. They've got the Alpine in P4 or our Goal Killer, Triple Bay in P5 in the Red Bull with the Japanese livery. We've then got AJ Mackey in P6. We got Evie in the Red Bull in the special Red Bull livery as well. V-Car, Visa, whatever you want to call it, in livery. In P7, we got Harold in P8, so his qualifying sessions are struggling a little bit so far this season. We got FS in P9, Giant Stick in P10, Horsepower in P11, Max Scavenger in P12, with what looks like Triple Bay having a slice spin, but nothing major. We've then got Names Jeff stepping in as a reserve tonight in the Alpine. We've got Mason in the other McLaren in P14, PG13 Connor and the other Sauber in P15, and we've got Mellow Space in P16. A lot of these drivers, from what I'm aware of, will do a two-stop. There might be a couple. I'm not even gonna ask, but she's already putting on a show. Like, yeah. What a way to announce yourself to the league, I guess. Driving backwards on the formation lap. I have never seen that happen, but here we go. 5 red lights about to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Amy Hoxter getting a perfect start, cutting off DK. But DK just getting in front of her. So DK leading through turn 1 and turn 2. Amy Hoxter just behind him in turn 3. Going into turn 3. Already a yellow caution sector flag. And these two are absolutely going at it so far. So DK taking P1 straight away. Amy Hoxter in P2. Sokinai just behind in P3. Goal Killer in P4 with Triple Bay all over the back of him in P5. We've then got Evie in P6. AJ in P7. Harold in P8. Stick in P9. Overtaking FS, who is under severe pressure from the McLaren. But it does look like the McLaren... Yes, the Ferrari damaging his wings, so he is just mudded, letting all the cars go through, so he is falling. Let me just quickly invite Soaking again. Give me a second, guys, and then we'll get straight back onto the... Yeah, I'm just trying to find you. Give me a second, Soaking. I know we're missing a little bit of a fight, but I shall try and get back. Right, see if that works, Soaking. But as things stand, we've got DK, who is 3 attempts up on Amy Hoxter. We've then got Goal Killer in P3, 1.7 seconds back. With Triple Bay moving up a position into P4, so Soakin's hopefully gonna get back in. I'm just keeping an eye on him, but we will keep an eye on these two fighters, rivals today. They have been going at it all day with time trial times, one after the other. Amy Hoxter with DRS open, will she take the advantage? She does attempt to go around the outside, very ballsy move. DK just giving her enough space, going through the quick left right, and Amy does make use, but DK has got the DRS again, so he will... Oh no, Amy Hoxter has the DRS. Let me know when you're back in, Soaking, and then I will get you straight back in. I will have a look now, actually, if you're back in. No, you're not. Need another one. Okay, sound. I'll quickly get you in now. There you go. Just sent one. And DK not being able to overtake Amy Hoxter, but she does settle 1 minute 19.2. These two already 2.8 seconds up on the next best. So, which is Goal Killer in P3. But we will just keep an eye on. We will keep an eye on Evie and Harold. We'll see if. Why do I see a Haas? Oh yeah, we got giant stick all over the back of Evie and Harold. If that didn't work, so can let me know. Amy now just over half a second up from DK Cohen, 6 tenths up. But DK Cohen knowing all he's got to do is remain patient, and there will be a potential DRS overtake going down the start finish line. But he does attempt to go down the inside. These two are not holding up. Amy Hoxter tries to cut back on him, and they do allow it. Little bit of contact, but they do just about stop a collision. DK Cohen with slight lock, but these two are going at it. DK with the DRS open. Amy trying to do her one defensive move, though. She cannot make another defensive move on this attack from DK. And she does just about stay in front of him. We will keep an eye on... Oh, okay, so Evie dropping back from Stick now. So Stick is on an absolute mission as we speak. We'll just have a look. We then got the two South Africans going at it. The Alpine of name's Jeff, and there's a lot of pressure from Horsepower Gaming in the Mercedes. So we will just keep an eye on these two as things stand. Perfect. So, okay, I did see that you joined back, so... Let's just go up to DK, who still can't get past Amy Hoxter. He will be just holding his tyres a little bit, I reckon. But we will find out to see if he is going to be patient and just take her on the start-finish line. But these two are already 2.7 seconds up. Goal Killer, to be fair to him, has kind of evened out. He is running the same sort of pace as these two front runners. DK knowing he will have to earn the right to have his first win of this season. Went a tad wide, but I don't think he got a warning, so we are good to go. We then do have FS AJ retiring. I don't know what has happened there, but we have got our first retirement. Have we got a safety car? We do have a safety car as well. So... will these two attempt to do 25 lap hards? With Evie getting a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. But this just gives us a little break from 5 laps of these two absolutely going at it. I will try and get an update on what happened to AJ, because I didn't see what happened, but he might have hit the wall or something. But yeah, as things stand, yes, exactly, Venom. And it also helps Mason and FS. Is Mason going hard? Is he going to be the first to blink? And he doesn't. He does stay mediums. Yeah, wing damage and had to keep FS behind. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just saw yellow sector while Amy and... Okay, DK coming in. Is he going to try the hards? Just trying to have a look. He does, so he is going to try and run them tyres down. He's going to try and run them tyres for 24 laps, so let's just have a look, see who has pitted and who hasn't. Okay, so we got Triple Bay who's just come in on medium. We've then got Harold and Stick both in on hard, so they're going to be trying to push over. Evie and Horsepower both coming in onto mediums. Mellow Space and Max Scavenger on the hards, and Mason comes in onto the medium. So, but yes, we've got a very good turnout today. We have got 15 drivers on the grid, which is a record, I'm pretty sure. But I'm just trying to find out, see what happened to AJ. But yes, now that we can have a little bit of a breather from that. Okay, so yeah, so we've had 16 since most, so we've got a joint record of participants tonight. But I think Evie may put an appeal in, depending if it was a blatant speeding or if it was one of the game glitches. Because I know this track does have a habit of glitching every now and again. And Amy Hoxer does stay out as well. So DK will be... Yeah, I knew that last week was ridiculously good for turnout. But yes, Amy Hoxter thinking she can hold off Soaking Eye and DK. Mason, as you were around, do you know what happened to AJ? I don't have a clue. I just saw yellow and then looked for a safety car and it was... Oh, okay. Yes, so I just missed it, but it looks like Names Jeff has just impeded by overtaking DK. I will get Soaking back in while we are in. He crashed exit. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, so I've gone. No, he isn't on just yet. But yes, by the looks of it, Names. Are you just leaving it for tonight then, Soaking? Okay, that's fair. Like I said, because what you could do, I could invite you, you could join, and then just retire the car if you don't want to try again. Oh, okay. Huge collision on track there. Now I have no idea what the hell just happened, but Amy Hoxter does get us underway. Triple Bay retiring from session, not the best start, but fair, yeah, it's a bit rough. It hasn't been the cleanest race other than the top two, to be fair, but yes, that is our second DNF of the day, and that I have no idea what happened there. I was too busy reading what Soaking said. You'll try once more. Alright then, I'll get you back in. If it doesn't work and if it's still laggy, we know that you've tried your best to try and get it working. It's not the end. If that's the issue with being all over the world, there are going to be some lags. But Amy Hoxter does get away cleanly. A goal killer half a second behind him with DK 7 times behind him, so... Or them. Right, I'll send you one more invite while this. Okay, maybe not. I'll wait until you're in, but yeah, we can see that you've tried Soaking. But yeah, Amy Hoxter 6 times back with DK all over the back of Goal Killer, so Amy Hoxter will be wanting to hope that Goal Killer does keep him behind as long as possible. what a fight these two are having, going side by side through the corner, keeping enough space as well. The Ferrari Academy versus big collision from the wall from Jeff. But the Ferrari Academy driver in Alpine taking on the Ferrari driver in. I'll just have one more look, see if you're online. Second, there you go. But yeah, you can't like, yeah. But we will just keep an eye on these two. Well, these three really, like. Beautiful racing from DK and Gold Killer, giving each other the space that they both require. But I don't know if, which I can figure out, yes, so he did get DRS from Amy. PG-13 Connor getting a 3-second penalty as well. Yeah, the things are horrendous. I don't know what's going on. Second. Oh, okay. It resets on track. We're not 100% sure if that is allowed, but it will be something to talk about after giving Amy a 2.5 second lead on. Has he got damage? Luckily, DK does not have damage as things stand, so. We will just have a look on Horsepower Gaming and FS. Our reserve tier 2 driver going against an absolutely beautiful switchback on a season 7 champ. What a move from the reserve in the Mercedes that is Horsepower Gaming. Absolutely inch perfect from start to finish, that move. And he does get the power on very well, but FS does become in the DRS zone. And another sector 2, I am guessing it'll be Connor, yes. Which is a bit of a shame, but another safety car can pretty much save his race. And DK, I think, has lost all. DK is being absolutely harassed by Harold, a season 9 champ going into what would be our season 8 champion, going into what would be our season 10 favourite. And another spin, like Connor is really having an uncomfortable time in that Sauber as things stand, which is a bit of a shame, but he's still going on, he's still cracking on with it. Like, and he does carry on, so very impressed. Mello with a second 3-second warning. Connor does retire from the pits though, so. But second eye is now all over the back of FS. Giants stick with a third 3-second penalty. But we'll just keep an eye on these two because FS is under a huge amount of pressure from Sokin. DRS open, will Sokin make the move? And he does not, he just sits back knowing that, slide from FS. Great catch, but Sokin does try and take him round the outside and he does manage to get. I say that he was going to say they do try and make it through, but Sokin does eventually make it stick, taking him into P5, pushing FS into P6 with horsepower all over the back of FS, so he is going to be looking in his mirrors. We'll keep an eye on this little fight as things run out. I don't know if the Ferrari's got damage again. He doesn't by the looks of it, but he's losing an awful lot of time. And DK does get him, has gotten past. Oh my god, I can't talk tonight. DK has gotten past Gold Killer to take P2, so he is on the charge now to try and catch Amy Hoxer yet again. And FS coming into pit again, so it's really not his day as things stand. Mason overtaking him. He could potentially be as low as P11 when he comes out the pit lane, which he does, so he's having an absolute yes moment. But DK going 6 tenths behind Amy Hoxter. He is in DRS and will be within striking range if he keeps this section clean and tidy. DK all over the back of Emma Hoxton now, and he does take the inside line, and he does take the lead in the title, in the race and the title race actually, as things currently stand. We got Horsepower and Mellow. What looks like they were getting a little bit feisty with each other, and Cohen finally breaking the DRS zone, but Amy does come straight back in. But DK now slowly starting to eke them tyres out. Amy's tyres will be starting to hurt a little bit on them 14 lap old tyres, which we will have a look. 13 laps, so this will be 14 lap old tyres. We will keep the tyres up just for now so we can see what they're all on. Mello coming into pit as well, so he drops down to P12. We will have a look at the big winners while we are here. Our big winner so far today is Mason, coming up 6 places. We've then got Harold in P3. And DK now slowly but surely inching his way. I will have a look. I did see it, triple if you're in stream. But DK being 2.1 seconds, 1.8 seconds, and he does come in into pit, but look at that left front. That left front would have been absolutely screaming, which puts Harold up into P2. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a quick thing. There we go. Right, I am back. Sorry, chat. DK being 3.9 seconds up on Harold. We got another flag. I'm just trying to see who it is. It's Max Scavenger, who does end up taking the gravel, trying to cut the gravel with his car, which is a very expensive lawnmower, as one of the drivers used to say back in the day. So currently, as things stand, we got DK in P1, 4.3 seconds up from Harold in P2, Sokin in P3, Amy Hoxer in P4, Horsepower Gaming the reserve in P5, Gold Killer in P6, EV in P7, FS having a rough time but still getting good points in P8, Mason in P9, Stick in P10, Max Scavenger in P11, but he does lose his car, so that does push him down to P12, with Names Jeff taking P11, and Mellow Space bringing up the rear in P13. Mason coming into pit now, and he will go onto the hards, I am guessing. Yes, he does go onto hards, so. But we'll just keep an eye on. Let's go over to Gold Killer on horsepower. The only two cars with DRS as things stand. And Gold Killer does get past horsepower, but horsepower does not pull up a fight. Knowing that one small error from Gold Killer will allow him straight back in. I'm just trying to have a look, see where else. Amy Hoxter gaining on Sokinai, ridiculously quick, but Sokinai does come into pit, and his front left is burning up as well. So these drivers having issues with their front left tyres as things stand. We'll just have a look at our lead. Amy Hoxter with a 1:18.6 as well, so she's slowly but surely pushing forward now on her hards, I'm guessing. Triple Bay has left the session. Evie with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but it does sometimes say that and they don't actually speed. Oh, let's put the gap on. Sorry about that. There we go. And Sokin has retired. Yeah, Sokin's Wi-Fi has cut out, but that's a shame because Sokin had some really good pace tonight. Again, like as well as last week he had pace. This week he had pace, but the internet just making his life harder than it really should be as things stand. But we got DK in P1 6.7 seconds behind in front. Well, no, 6.7 seconds behind him is Harold. 8.1 seconds behind Harold is Amy Hoxter, with Gold Killer being 6.1 seconds in P4 behind. Horsepower in P5. Sokin I was in P6, but he is probably going to get pushed down. FS in P7. A Giant Stick in P8. Names Jeff in P9. Evie in P10. Max Scavenger in P11. Mellow Space in P12. And Mason bringing up the rear so far in P13. With our four retirements if you classify Sokin. But there are some. Are these pitting? And they both have pit. Yes. I didn't know what was going on, but we'll just. Name's just going to take up a speed. We will just keep an eye on this because FS in the Ferrari against the reserve of horsepower, and horsepower is an absolute pain to get past. His defense is very good, but he does not pull up too much defense this time. And FS does go up into P5. Just keeping an eye on. Okay, horsepower does come into pit, so FS has now got a little bit of breathing. Amy Hoxter, may I add, brought that gap down by another 2 seconds since we last spoke about her to Harold in P2. Let's have a little look. Just trying to see who he apparently is behind. Lap 19 out of 29 laps. We've got 11 laps to go from this Australian Grand Prix to round out season 9 round 2 for now. As things stand, we've got DK Cohen in P1, Harold in P2, Amy in P3, Gold Killer in P4, FS in P5, Sokin in P6, Giant Stick in P7, Evie in P8, Horsepower in P9, Mellowed in P10, Mason in P11, names Jeff in P. Oh, okay, this does bring Amy Hoxter straight back into the title. DK does not think he will be able to handle the thing. His tyres must have been wearing off slowly, but It will now be an absolute fight. We'll just have a look at the tyres actually. Interview stops. Tyre. So yeah, DK with the favourite with 5 lap old better tyres as things stand. Oh, but it makes it a very interesting race, let's just say that. Amy Hoxter absolutely ripping the floor up on Harold, slow getting 10th by 10th each corner, but with the fresher tyres, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when she will take that P1. Let's have a little look at horsepower and EV. These two racers racing against each other last Monday and Tuesday, so they know what each other are like racing wise. Horsepower only just in the DRS zone, but he is burning battery just to get close enough to EV. DRS is not open. I thought he had DRS, but apparently not. Did he get DRS here? And he doesn't. Okay, so there might be it looked like horsepower was in space and Amy Hoxter already only a second behind Harold. Now we'll just keep an eye on these two because of how aggressive these drivers are. They will want to try and get it done just to conserve the tyres a little bit more. Evie coming into pit as well, but Amy Hoxter within 6/10 of Harold, our season 8 champion. And he is holding off the Scarlet Ferrari right now, but she will have her eyes set on taking that P1 here in Australia. Harold, knowing his tyres are not going to be able to help him as much, and DK actually losing time to these two drivers, considering how much they're fighting. And DK is now slowly but surely starting to push. Amy Hoxton makes a move on the outside. Harold going down the inside, but DK doing a 1:18.2, so he's half a second quicker than the next quickest driver on track so far. And Amy Hoxter is already 1.1 seconds behind, in front of Harold. So Harold is hoping to try and get it. Goal Killer and FS both coming into pit, and it's going to be very close between Horsepower and FS. It's going to be very close between Horsepower and FS. Who will take it down the line? Horsepower does just get out in front of FS. FS having a bit of a slow exit as well, I'm not going to lie. Mason and Names Jeff going at it. These two were going at it all race last Tuesday and Monday, I think it was. Anyway. But those are bearing down on Max Scavenger, so they work together. They will get him in the end. A little bit wide from Jeff, allowing Mason to have that breathing room. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. So, like, if I was on comms, I would be in the exact same boat. I think it's by far the worst game so far, but that's just my preference. Little bit of a wiggle coming from Mason, though. We'll get straight back into the racing. Just trying to see who is behind these two. Evie, so a three-way fight for P11. Evie takes Jeff round the outside. Yes, he only just makes it, but Evie takes Jeff round the outside. Cuts the line a little bit, but his next target will be Mason. DK 7/10 now off Amy Hoxter. So battle's going all over the pitch, right? All over the track right now. Little bit of a slow exit on the third to last corner from Evie, but he does get straight on the power. And am I missing these two going at it again? I'm trying to see where these two are. Okay, so yeah. So these are Amy Hoxter and DK within 3/10 of each other, coming round to the final corner now. DK getting on the accelerator ever so slightly better. Yeah, it's fine. So I can like how do I get disconnected and not the yeah, it's odd, but DK does take turn P1 with DRS as well, so he will be hoping just to push ever so slightly more with the 5 of extra lap younger tires. Back to your thing, so can yeah, it's bizarre, but I see what you mean. It's a bit awkward. But here's Jeff in DRS, so he takes Mason out of it, without the DRS and then gets the DRS on him. Mason going very wide as well, trying to cut the grass again. So he's just trying to give us a showing. That's all. Like he could be trying to give us a podium shot. It's fine. But here we have DK in P1 with Amy Hoxter 9 times back on DK with that ever so slight wide line with Harold 21 seconds behind in Amy Hoxter in P3. Mason does retire from the session, so I don't know what is thingy, but Mason having some good fights today actually, considering like he said he hates Australia. He's put up a good fight with the likes of Stick, Jeff and Evie. No, not Stick. Max Scavenger, Evie and Jeff. I mean, you can come and do the final few laps if you want. Yeah, perfect. Did you want to come to the final few laps? Or no? Sound. I'll make a party. I'll make a party up with there. Start a party. There you go. And we've got one more person coming to join us just for the final few lap. We have Mason. I did say just before you retired, to be fair, that you were having some good fights with Evie, Max, and names Jeff in the last few laps.
Yeah, but I had wing damage.
Yeah, it's been a bit scrappy from him, as we see your teammate actually locking up big time then, but not affecting his timings so far. But yeah, I was saying just before you retired that you were having, well, it looked like you were having a good scrap with Jeff, considering you both hate the track, and Evie, with Mello going extremely wide for some reason.
Yeah, we're both having a good time. We're both laughing and all that.
Yeah, like it was good, some good racing to be fair between you. With Evie now going about to overtake Max, actually, I think. Yeah, comfortably overtaken in the end. But to be fair, there's been a few little issues. You might get a message off Triple B.
Yeah.
Not saying it on stream, but I've got it on stream myself. Horsepower with 3 seconds as well, so it's first 3 seconds.
I just lost a rear.
Yeah, I didn't. A lot of them have been sliding around a little bit today. I think the tyres have just been getting shot.
Yeah, tyre wear's awful around here.
Yeah, so I even said like when Amy pitted, when DK pitted, when Harold pitted, their tyres, their front left looked even worse. So I don't know what it was like for you. You might be able to give more of an insight, but it looked like the left tyre was the most painful to try and control.
I think it was both lefts, yeah, but mainly like the front left.
Yeah, I was going to say the front left looked degraded compared to the front right. But it is one of them tracks that does hurt your tyres big time no matter how good you are.
Stick and Max are battling.
I was about to say there, I just saw the gap closing down, but Stick coming through the long sweeping left. To be fair, it's been a very even grid so far. It's been very even.
Yeah, pretty good, but
a few little
at the same time
issues. Yeah, a few little things that have happened, but it's nothing major. Like Might be a few little reports going in, but I caught 90% of them myself. Yellow
Unfortunately
flag
for this,
somewhere.
yeah.
Was that Mello again
Unfortunately for
going?
this,
Mello.
Milo.
Yeah, he's damaged his front right end plate. That's completely gone, so he must have done a spin coming out of the chicane, potentially.
Maybe.
From
Unfortunately for Soaking, because he hasn't completed most of the race, he'll get automatically DNF'd.
Yeah, he has said he'll retire because of his internet connection, which is fair enough. He's tried 3 times. I've invited him 4 times myself. Mellow space retiring, so that's got it. Was that a crash?
No, it was in the pits.
Oh, he's in the. Oh yeah, just see it's in the pit. So that will be our sixth retirement. Yeah, sixth retirement of today.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was saying at the start as well, like the Mercedes qualifying pace isn't all there, but their actual race pace is
Pretty
very
impressive.
strong. Yeah. Um, Soaking coming into bit. Hopefully, this will retire his car completely
It
with
probably
Soaking,
won't,
but
but we'll see.
as things stand, DK will take lead of the title, I think, as well. Amy
Yeah, it will.
Hoxter, yeah, Amy Hoxter will come home second place. With I know I thought it was a bit of a scrap then. Harold in P3, 18.5 seconds. He couldn't have done an awful lot more today. I think the safety car. Oh, goal killer going very wide. Lucky that he didn't DNF in the wall then as well. I think the safety car ruined a lot of people's strategy coming out that early, you know.
Yeah, and some people just haven't had a good day, like Connor.
Yeah, kind of. He kept going. In all fairness to him, but
He tried.
yeah, exactly. That's all you can really ask. Horsepower with a broken end plate as well. But it's been very even as far as I'm aware. Like, name's Jeff actually all over the back of Scavenger. We'll just keep an eye on Jeff continuing his actual impressive race pace as well.
Yeah.
Damage wing got lapped. Yeah, it's a rough one, Mello. Like FS and Mason both broke their front wing within 3 laps. That it was a bad one for a lot of these drivers today. I don't know what happened between Gold Killer. DK wins, so he does win on track for the second time, but he will retain his title.
He'll retain it. He'll retain the win this
He
time.
will retain the win. That's the word. Amy Hoxter coming home in a very impressive P2 on debut. Harold will come home.
P3.
Yeah. I've got a quick question while you're in stream.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to reset a track, are you?
No, that's
So
against
there's
the
a
rules.
penalty coming DK's way. Because he did reset on track. I caught it just at the end, but it quite clearly showed that he reset to track. I was going to ask you earlier, but since you came in, we'll talk about it afterwards anyway. But Harold comes
Yeah.
home in P3, Gold Killer P4, in continuing his impressive form. I think that's his second consecutive P4. FS coming home in a P5, but I don't think he'll be overly pleased with that. Horsepower will come home in P6 unless he has a major error. Yeah, so Horsepower comes home in P6, followed closely by a Giant Stick coming home in P7 with Evie just behind him in P8. And that is that. But yeah, it's going to be something we have to talk about. I have got the clip as well, but they have to obviously find their own clips. Even if it's from stream, but it's one of them where I saw it and I was like, I don't know if it's going to be allowed or not.
Normally it isn't allowed in most leagues. So.
Exactly, like even though it didn't affect anyone else, you have to somehow regain your thing in it. Also, can I ask you a question, Amy? As you're in chat, potentially, why was you reversing on the formation lap? um, It didn't affect anyone, but I came to Amy and she was putting her car in reverse, which, fair enough, what a way to introduce yourself. But yeah, yeah, apparently so. But yeah, there's a few things that it's gonna have
Got
to be
moves like Jagger.
literally. You should see it. I think I might actually clip it, but I went to her and she was just reversing backwards in a straight line on the start finish line. I was like, what a way to introduce yourself to the league, eh?
Yeah.
But so DK with the win so far and with the fastest lap, driver of the day FS named Jeff with the most overtakes and the cleanest driver gold killer. Um, Things could be changed, but we will let people know in the Discord when the stewards have come to a decision, if anything
Yeah.
happens. Um, I'm pretty sure we have got a stream tomorrow. We have got Giant Stick apparently coming in to do comms tomorrow for the tier 2 lot. Any tier 1, so like Amy, as you'll know, you can reserve for us tomorrow if you want, but you don't get points, and vice versa. So it'll be just like a practice session for you, kind of thing.
Unless you have a full-time seat in that tier.
Yeah, unless you have a full-time seat in that tier, you don't get the points. So it'll just be like a practice session. But you are more than welcome to race on a Tuesday as well as a Monday. But you'll only get points for tier 1. But that is that for round 2. Very eventful first 2 rounds, I'm not going to lie. But we shall see you tomorrow for the tier 2 here in Australia with Stick as your commentator. Thank you for watching. GG's to DK. Was it Killer in P3 or Harold? Harold.
It was Harold.
Congratulations to DK for the win, Amy and Harold for taking up the last couple of spots in podium. And we shall see you.
Oh wait, before we end it, who's your driver of the day?
I mean, it was scruffy. If I had to pick one, I'll probably say Goal Killer because he kind of kept out of his way. We expected the pace from
Just got on with it.
DK and Amy. Yeah, we kind of expected their pace. But I would say Goal Killer just because he kept out of it. He just did his job. If you go on pace, obviously DK, but yeah.
DK just pulled out nothing in the final few laps.
Yeah, but I do have the clip, but they have to find it. So yeah, Amy, if you want it, you'll have to come onto the stream and try and find it. I cannot give it to you. As the rules. To be fair, Amy did one stop. Yes, Mason.
That was great.
Very hard. Stick is coming in with a complaint as well, saying did he reset the track? But we shall see you tomorrow. Me and the other admins have something to talk about. But thanks for watching, and we shall see you tomorrow and next week. Right, stop broadcast.